Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to another episode of F1 Manager 22. We are in the final closing stages of our third and final season of Challenge Mode. Just 6 races to go, including tonight's race at Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix. We are currently leading the Constructors' Championship by a very nice, healthy margin of 37 points. And it's a lot closer than that in the drivers. As you can see, we are 2 points clear of our teammate, with Freddie Vesti at the top on 78 and Felipe on 76. Max Verstappen just 2 further points behind on 74. It's going to be a very, very tight run in the drivers. And I'm not 100% certain we can actually win the Drivers' Championship, but I want to win the Constructors. That's the one I want to win. So as long as I get that one, I don't mind missing out on the Drivers' Championship. Let's see how we do tonight. Let's see. We got the new parts on the car. That's all set and prepped. So all that remains for us to do is basically see what kind of performance we can expect out of tonight's car. If we take a look at the circuit sections by speed, you can see a lot of slow speed sections. Those are really going to hurt us because that's probably the weakest area of our car, is especially in the dirty air, is the low speed performance. So let's see, has anyone else brought any upgrades to this Grand Prix? Let's have a look. We are still about where we were, third in clean low speed cornering and 7th in dirty air cornering. So our car's still pretty competitive. Obviously our drivers are not as competitive as Max for obvious reasons. They're about 20 odd points below him in terms of driver skill. Well, maybe not that much, maybe about 15 points, but he's definitely got a skill advantage over us. The Red Bull is a very quick car, but hopefully its lack of performance in the corners will help us. There you can see specifically they are very bad in the low speed. So I'm really hoping that will go in our favour tonight. And kind of counteract the skill deficit and the speed deficit that our car has. How you doing, Corey? How you doing, Mr. Water? Good to see you guys. Let's jump straight into tonight's practice. We'll set our performance targets before we jump in. So the incentive is to get 1 car in Q3. We should be comfortably able to do that. Oh, actually, no. I think I'm going to take penalties tonight. Let's just go to our warehouse. This is the state of our engines. So we're on Honda engines. This engine is effectively not really going to do that much for us anymore this season. So we only have 1 engine left, and the Honda power threshold is 85%. So at the end of this Grand Prix, this engine is going to be starting to lose performance, and we've still got another 5 races to go. So we're going to take new engines. So we're not going to qualify well. We're going to have to work our way through the grid. Now, this is a circuit where we do have a high chance of safety cars, and that will allow us to kind of work our way back through, especially if we go with an aggressive tyre strategy. In terms of ERS modules, unless we have an accident, we should be fine on ERS modules. And gearboxes, again, unless we have a big accident, we are going to be fine on gearboxes as well. So we're just going to do engines. That'll be a 10-place penalty for each of our drivers. It's the first and only penalty that we've taken so far this season. What did I think of the Dev Insights video for City Skylines 2? Yeah, it was alright. I mean, I watched the video for it yesterday. You know, the actual trailer video that they do, and I read the blog post, and that was probably more informative than watching that cheesy little Dev Insight video they did. Right, so we've not set any qualifying targets. I didn't even set any race targets. Never mind. We didn't set the race target or the quality targets because we don't know where we're going to qualify, but it's not going to be in Q3. So, or at the top 10 anyway. best we can hope for is 11th, and that's pushing it, unless other drivers are taking penalties as well. Let's start off by putting our drivers onto hard tyres. Marina Bay is quite a long lap, so we're going to go 16 laps for our driving runs today in this session. There we go. Let's put on the worn parts for practice. We'll go to our older, more worn engines now. There we go. Same with the ERS module, we'll swap those over. And we'll go with an older gearbox for each car as well. And let's take a look at the sliders. So, starting with Felipe's car. We're going to be wanting to run probably a 15.5 on the rear wing. So, let's see. Let's go with an 8 on the front. I'll go with an 8.2. I don't think that's going to be enough. Alright, I've got another setup with a 9.1. Let's go to that, which means we drop the front wing to a 6.5, a 15.5, a 9.1, a 2.7, and a 0.75. There we go. Let's take a look at Freddie's car. And let's see, again we want to go with a 15.5 on the rear. This one's definitely going to be a 9.1, I think, so we'll go with the same setup: 6.5, 15.5, 9.1, 2.7 and a 0.75. There we go. So same setup. Let's see if it works for both cars.
Radio check. Radio check.
It's green now.
There we go. Right. You hope there's a way to remove the white lines on the roads. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just kind of indicating traffic flow route. I think, not 100% certain, but I think that's just an overlay. I might be wrong, but I'm fine with it. How you doing, Farah? Good to see you tonight. So, I did say that there's going to be some changes to this circuit in real life this year. Let me point out where those changes are going to happen. It's this bit here. So, the drivers will carry on straight on there instead of turning here. And then they will then rejoin this bit of road here. So they basically cut out that whole section, and then this stays as it's going to be. So basically that whole underpass tunnel section there with the right left chicane followed by the left right chicane, that's going to be removed, and it's just going to be a straight line. Obviously using an existing road as part of the Singapore road network, but that's what's being removed for this season. You can see on the mini map as they go through that section, there is a straight line there. Yeah, it's two roads that run parallel, and they're just going to use what's been used as an escape road. But I'm really hoping that that's going to open up overtaking opportunities on the closing section of the lap, because you've got that straight leading to a fairly quick right-hander. Oh, we've got a lock up for Felipe. He's put it in the wall. Nuts. But there, that's where they'll carry straight on, and this bit hole here will be just bypassed. And that's what I'd like to see.
We can take a look now. So this was the Aston Martin.
So how bad was this lock-up?
A definite collision there.
Yeah, not
That's
great.
very unfortunate.
How bad is the damage? Major front wing damage. It's not great, is it? How far away is he from giving me feedback? He's close to actually getting full feedback, so we'll just leave him out. Really excited that tunnels are rendered now.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
I don't know if we'll have fully rendered underground metro stations that we'll be able to actually see. I mean, that would be... how would you actually see them? Yeah, you can't just see through the ground. 99% with Freddy, so that setup choice was definitely spot on with him. We just need one click of toe to fix that. What about Felipe, though? Is he going to be able to actually run the same setup, or is that going to need some pretty hefty tweaking? It's going to need some pretty hefty tweaking. Okay. That's not ideal. Alright, let's call him in now. Just hope he doesn't break another wing. Alright, a lot of stuff needs to change on this. Specifically the roll bar and the front wing. So, I'm going to go back to my original kind of plan, I think. And go with an 8, a 15.5, an 8.2. We'll leave that at 2.7, push that to a 1. That might not be enough. That's about all I can squeeze out of that, I think. We'll give that a try. We'll see if that's going to work. Obviously, we need to change that front wing. There we go. Got one spare left now. Okay. Felipe's about ready to go back out. Got a little bit of tweaking to do to Freddy. Like I said, just a click of toe. We've just got to judge which way to click it. Might be obvious and apparent. We'll see. It's not. We'll go to a 0.8 and see how that works. And there we go. That's our second car out on track. Gasly's looking quick. I wonder if he's taking an engine penalty. It looks like he is, as is Bottas, taking some sort of penalty, unless that's for a collision. Schumacher and Magnussen also have penalties, and Zhou has a penalty, and then obviously when we put our engines in quali, we'll have a penalty as well. I am going to run the slightly older engines in this race. We'll use the new ones just for quali.
How does it feel?
92%. That's still a little bit of work needed. So yeah, we'll use the brand new engines just to qualify, and then we'll go back to the next best engine that we have, the 88% engines for the race. Given that we're going to be starting a bit further back and running a more aggressive strategy, we're going to need a little bit of extra grunt to fight our way through the field. So that's why we're not going to use these engines that we're running in practice that are about 60% at the moment. Alright, on to practice 2. So, medium tyres for this stint. We got the setup confidence spot on. I forgot to actually check that, but there we go. So, a 20 lap run, is that going to be enough? I'll go 22 laps. That should be enough. And for Felipe, because he had that crash, he's about 10% further back on his track knowledge. So we're actually going to go with about 28 laps of fuel for him. Have a longer run. And then what do we need to change? So that's going to need to be a 7.3. Okay. I'm going to go like that. Correct that back. I'm going to drop that to a 7.5. I'm going to try that. Let's see how that works.
Radio check.
Alright, there goes Freddie. And there goes Felipe. We should see some more action in this race. We had to be very patient and try and wait for an opportunity and then take advantage of said opportunity yesterday, which was very tricky to do. It's always tricky when you're a couple of seasons in at Monza because the slipstream is so powerful that it's really hard to break away and get out of DRS range and then stay out of DRS range. This circuit is a bit different, very different characteristics, and we've got to be aggressive at the start because we've got to fight our way through. We've got to make up 10 positions on each driver because we're going to be getting the 10 place penalties. Yeah, interestingly, even with a new engine, Gasly is still half a second off Verstappen. That indicates just how quick he is in that car. Oh, it's a big crash. That's Vesti, and that's probably a retirement. I think he was speared, or he speared another driver. But yeah, he's out.
And several cars involved.
Damn it.
Here's the replay. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved.
Yeah, the AlphaTauri locked up and speared straight into him and sent him into the wall.
Oh, there's chaos on the track.
We're going to have to do some emergency manufacturing of replacement parts now. So not a particularly good session for Freddie.
You have a problem.
Copy.
Luckily we're running older parts, so that is going to mitigate powertrain component damage etc., which we won't be able to see now until we get back to the pit lane at the end of the session. And it does now mean that Freddie's going to have a very long run in the final session to get his track knowledge up.
We need to retire the car.
Okay, copy.
Did we at least get Felipe's setup right?
How's the
No, we
balance?
didn't. Still need some work on that. So I'm going to call him in and we'll send him out on a second run. I think that's probably our best bet. Okay, so we do need to push that back that way. I'm going to go to an 8.5 on the front wing. And I'm going to try that. Let's take a little bit of fuel out. We don't need to have 28 laps of fuel in the car anymore. Let's go to 20. He gets a 3-place penalty. I potentially lose components. Yeah, that's just unfortunately the way it is. But you have to have consistency in rules. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems that Formula One has had, is inconsistent application of penalties. Partly because they've got a rotating cast of stewards at each race, so it's very rare. Well, you never get the same stewards at each race, but it's very rare that you get a consistent application of penalties across the season, because each set of stewards is always going to have a different interpretation of the rules. So the best you can hope for is at least the decisions that those particular stewards make are consistent within their own set of principles. Alright, hopefully we've got it right this time. So the one silver lining we do have with Freddie is that at least his car is 100% set up, so he just needs time on track. Not 100% certain which driver it was that speared us, but I'm guessing it was probably Sonoda. I don't think it was Albon. Sonoda's still in the garage, so yeah, that to me suggests it was him. Alright, feedback incoming. Please tell me I've got it right this time. Yes, there we go.
What do you think?
What? He's...
It's a crash.
Oh,
Let's
no.
have a look.
God damn it.
This was the Aston Martin.
Have we been taken out again, or have we just crashed ourselves this time?
Clearly, something went
No,
very,
we just
very
crashed
wrong
under
there.
pressure from the Ferrari. That's not good. Both our cars are out. Oh dear. Okay, lots of parts going to need to be manufactured. Lucky we have a huge bank balance, and it's not going to really impact us financially, but frustrating. It's another reason why I don't want to run the brand new engines in the race, because if we make mistakes like that, we're going to seriously damage them. Right. So yeah, Felipe doesn't need too long on track. Freddie needs most of the session on track. And we have car parts missing. Oh, he's wiped out everything. Look, the engine, the ERS, and the gearbox. Ah, well, this is why we run old parts in practice. There's enough left in that engine to limp through this practice session. 82%, is that going to be able to cope with another 6 races? I don't know if it is. So, seeing as I'm taking penalties, do I go ahead and just take the pain and get a second? I think I do. I think I've got to take a second DRS module just to be on the safe side. Gearboxes I'm still going to be okay on. Those two will easily last 5 races. Remember the awful luck last season? It was more than a week. It was about a fortnight of bad racing. It was horrible. Okay, actual car parts. Let's have a look. Chassis. We've only got 1 of the new chassis, so let's emergency manufacture 2. So I've got a spare one. And just getting that fitted. Oh, that's the wrong one. Install on car 1. Front wings, I've only got 1 front wing left. Emergency manufacture. Let's go with 4. It's going to be a while till we get another front wing. So we'll go ahead and make sure we've got plenty of spares. Rear wings, we're okay on rear wings. Side pods are fine. Underfloors are fine. Suspensions, I've wrecked a suspension, but not both of them. That's not too bad. Just emergency manufacture 1 spare suspension. There we go. Okay, so new chassis. Fit that to car 2. There we go. Front wing, fit that to car 2. We were fine on rear wings, side pods, underfloors and suspensions. That's another gearbox dead. That'll get me through this session. That ERS module's taken a whack, but it will get me through. Again, is that going to last? Screw it. Just to be on the safe side. And engine. Well, that engine's lost about 30% of its life. It was a 64% engine or so going into this weekend. It's now down to 30. So yeah, that one's toast. We've not come out of that well. Right, 22 laps should be enough. Freddie needs to do a lot more than that. Freddie needs to do about 30 odd laps, if not more. Alright, we are ready to go. Fingers crossed we have a nice, quiet, uneventful session.
Ready to check? Ready to check.
It should be green now.
Even though Freddie's carrying more fuel, he's got an engine that's now about 30% better than Felipe, so he should still probably be a little bit quicker. That's why we sent him out first. Let's get them looking after what few components we have left. And it does now mean that both of our drivers are going to be effectively starting from the back of the grid. So we'll probably just not run in quali. Save the tyres. I might run Q1 just to see what kind of pace we've got. And make sure that we do register the fact that we're using those new parts. But I don't think I'll bother with Q2 or Q3. Because we're now looking at a 20 place penalty for each driver. So we should just about get Freddie up to 100% track knowledge at the end of this run. And we should get there with about 25 minutes of the session left with Felipe.
Oh, there's a spin!
Yeah, watching the replay of Felipe crashing, I did think for a second that the Ferrari had locked up, and then I realised it was actually our tyre smoke that we were watching. We have had another crash.
Yeah, Bobby.
Where has Schumacher crashed? Is it right in front of us? It is right in front of us, yes, there we go. And that's him out.
There's been a crash. Let's take a closer look. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher. Oh, a nasty crash there. And that was a bit...
Okay, VSC's about to end. It was a nice crunch, wasn't it? Made a satisfying thunk noise. And there we go, that is Felipe done. So let's call him in before he destroys what's left of his car. Not too far away now with Freddie either. So I came into this Grand Prix umming and ahhing about maybe taking engine penalties and dropping 10 places on the grid. Now we're taking new engines and new ERS modules, and we're starting at the back. Ah dear. Right, Freddie is done. Let's call him in before he totals another car as well. There we go. Nice uneventful session for our drivers this time. Please be a sign of things to come for the rest of the weekend. And there we go, that is practice done. So, just quali up next. And we're just going to do one run in Q1 just to kind of see where our baseline pace is. There's no need to really go heavy in qualifying because we're starting at the back with all the penalties. Lots of other drivers having penalties as well, so that will help. Very difficult to find info on the next game. How did I hear about the patch? Twitter. Well, I saw it on Reddit, but it was a screenshot of a Twitter post where they're talking about launching the patch, and they said there's going to be more information tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow we'll find out exactly what's involved in that. It does look as though it's not going to be quite as straightforward as what I was saying yesterday in terms of just going, okay, I want to drive for that team next, or manage that team next year. It does look like you're going to have an overall managerial rating, and then I'm going to guess that depending on how good your rating is will determine which teams you can approach. Kind of like how it was trying to move contracts or move between teams as a driver in F1 2018 sort of thing. You know, your rating is X, so these 3 teams are interested in you, and you can approach the time for one of those teams. Or, you know, you get a rating in the 80s, you can sign for pretty much any driver, blah 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 blah. So yeah, it was a Twitter screenshot they posted, and I would imagine, you know, they'll actually do a video or a blog post or something tomorrow, maybe even a live stream. They are due to do another focus stream at some point. Right, brand new engines for quali, just so we can see what the pace of the car is going to be. Brand new ERS module as well, just to trigger that for the penalty. Go with that gearbox, that's fine. Over here, again, brand new engine. New ERS module to register it for the penalty, and then actually I might need another gearbox. I'm going to take another gearbox as well. Oh, I can't yet. Oh, nuts. Oh, that's okay. We'll start at the back anyway. How you doing, Ruben? Yes, feeling better. A lot more alert and awake. Managed to get a decent night's sleep last night. Right, into quali.
Radio check.
Not holding up much hope for tonight though, because I'm usually up till the early hours in the morning anyway, and Fridays is always a rough morning for me because the bin men come very early in the morning, and because it's so hot, especially in the summer, I usually have my window open all day and all night. So yeah, I hear them very noisy. Alright, here we go. One and only run, just to see what kind of pace we've got. Which Red Bull are we chasing? Well, we are chasing Verstappen. That's kind of good. That's a chance to get a marker down against Max while he's running at the same time as us. So, same conditions. Felipe looking very quick in Sector 1. He's gone purple. He's faster than Max. And Max may have possibly been held up by Schumacher. Not too sure. Oh, it's not Schumacher, that's Magnussen, who's going to get in our way as we go over the bridge. Yeah, that's hurting Felipe. Very much hurting him. So will not be a purple sector here, I don't think. Nope. Alright, so Freddie coming up to the final corner. Max is a 1:35.6. What kind of pace have we got? Very close, within a tenth. Felipe's going to be a bit further back. Yeah, he lost about half a second at least. Probably more than that. Probably lost about 7/10. Stuck behind Magnussen like that. So we've got a good pace. That's important. We're going to go onto mediums at the start, and we're going to go very hard on those mediums, and then we're going to go soft. I think maybe medium soft, but I think probably medium soft. We could theoretically just do a one-stop medium, two soft, but like I said, we're starting at the back of the grid. We kind of need to punch our way through a little bit, so we're going to have to push the tyres. Yeah, I could make medium soft, but like I said, we're starting at the back of the grid from engine penalties and ERS module penalties. So, because we're going to need to push the tyres hard to cut our way through the field in the early stages, I think it's better for us to go with a two-stop. Plus, if we do get the safety car that I'm expecting in the race, then that will benefit us. Depending on when that safety car comes out, we can switch to a set of tyres around that period. We need that gearbox as well, I think, just to be on the safe side. Actually, no, I think we should be okay. Let's take out these better parts now that we've got the penalties registered. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to sit out the rest of the quali now. I know they tend to stop very early.
Ready to check? Ready to check.
Green light, green light.
But with the improved tyre deck, then the pace of my mediums will fall away to the point where I'm just losing too much time. Plus, on paper, a two-stop is actually quicker than a one-stop. So let's see who gets knocked out along with us here in Q2. Bottas currently at risk. Don't know if he didn't get a clean run. He's running at the back of the field here, so he should get a clean run, assuming there's no yellow flag in front of him. We should see an improvement. Russell looking quick. Russell looking very quick. In fact, the top five separated by, what, 1.5 tenths of a second. I would expect Ocon to improve as well. So it's who's going to join Joe, and I'm guessing it's going to be one of the Ferraris and Magnussen. Let's see. Gasly in fourth, but don't forget he's got a new engine, so he's taking a big penalty. Not seeing any real improvements from anyone. Oh, Ricardo improved. Oh, wow, Ricardo definitely improved. He got a toe off the back of Sainz. Sainz is out. Who's joining him? Is it going to be Norris? Is Norris out? Let's see what Bottas can do. Bottas goes third, so Norris is out. Norris and Sainz are eliminated. Interesting. So, penalty for Bottas, penalty for Gasly, Magnussen. Oh, I didn't realise Magnussen was running a new engine as well. Makes sense. And then Zhou, Schumacher and Tsunoda. Lots of penalties around us. We've probably got more in the way of penalties, but we'll see what happens.
Race day has arrived and
We might not be starting dead last, but it won't be much of an improvement. Yeah, we're dead last. So, the one stop, according to what the AI is going to run, is going to be something like that, or something like that. One of those two. Potentially this one as well. These are the two main kind of contenders for the AI strategy. What we're going to do is, if we were to one stop it, then we could do something like this and go 25 seconds quicker, apparently, on paper. We're going to go even more extreme than that. We're going to go with something like that. I'm going to go with what, Matt? 20... If we go 22 laps, then lap 42. No, let's go 21:41. Yeah, let's do that. So a 21 lap stint on mediums, followed by a 20 lap stint on a set of softs, and then another 20 lap stint on another set of softs. And that is 33 seconds quicker. Plus, it gives us a lot more tyre to play about with as we try and push our way through the field. I could go soft, medium, soft, but I think it's better for us to have the softs in parallel to what the AI is doing with their tyres. So, in opposition. So if they're running mediums or hards and we've got the softs, we should be able to affect those overtakes better. There is a high chance of a safety car, so I'm just going to take the one lap out so that we've still got some potential fuel to play about with, but we shouldn't have to do too much in the way of fuel saving if there isn't one. And we are going to go aggressive off the line with both of our cars. And let's see how we do.
with the skies mostly clear, tonight's race shouldn't hold any unpleasant surprises. Taking a look at the Aston Martin. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. There's the second Aston Martin. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. The teams are ready to go. And this is it, the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
What would I be happy with? Double points, minimum. I still think we've got, given that we've got a very good car, I think we've got the potential to get one of our drivers on the podium.
That's it. Good job.
Alright, we're past one of the Haas already,
All okay
working on
fuel.
Schumacher.
What you want for speed.
One of our cars is through, the other one is side by side, should get him here.
Good job.
Nope, not quite.
Looks like
In fact, we've actually got ahead of Bottas as well. That's excellent. So a really, really strong start for Felipe here. But yeah, as a as a minimum, I want both cars in the points. But ideally, I'd like at least one driver on the podium. This is the circuit where Verstappen's not got the hugest advantage over us, given how bad the Red Bull is in the low-speed corners. No! That's not good. That's really not good. Is he out? Yeah, he's out. Terminal for suspension, terminal front wing, major chassis and rear wing. And that engine has taken a little bit of a knock. The ERS has taken a little bit of a knock. The gearbox is massively screwed. I'm so glad I didn't put a new gearbox in. But now we definitely need a new gearbox. So that's Felipe's race over. All right, let's have a look. Can I pivot this? And just do that. I could. But I don't think it's worth it. Instead, we'll protect the tyres, we'll save some fuel, we'll recharge the battery. Yeah, thank you, Felipe, for ruining your chances of fighting for the World Championship.
Multiple cars, I think.
Copy.
Here's a full-on safety car. Someone's boxing already. It's Sonoda. And that's a penalty, 3-place penalty in the next Grand Prix for Drugovich as well. Plus, he's going to take another 10-place penalty for a new gearbox. So, yeah, 13-place penalty for Drugovich at Suzuka. Joy.
Sonoda is pitting this lap.
I can't blame that one on you, Farah. I can't blame you for jinxing me on that one for going AFK because you were there to see it. But if you walk away and something happens to Vesti, that's it.
You've got loads of energy.
I will empower Mr. Water to unleash the spanner. We don't do ban hammers over here, we do ban spanners. Well, I did say we had a high chance of a safety car. I just wasn't expecting us to be the ones bringing it out on the first lap. In fairness, I probably should have expected one of our drivers to crash. I mean, I was telling him to push ridiculously hard, so it's not that surprising. Good thing we didn't set any race targets for this Grand Prix. Yeah, not been the best weekend for us so far. A lot of damage done in practice, and now we've wiped out a car in the beginning of the race as well. So that's going to be, let's see, we totaled the suspension, so we're going to need another suspension manufactured before the next Grand Prix, because we don't have a spare anymore. We've wiped out another front wing. What else was terminal? That was the front wing. We did major damage to the chassis, so we need another chassis. And I think we might need a spare rear wing as well now. I'm trying to remember what the other part was. I think it was the rear wing. On the plus side, most of the field is running on softs. So they're getting even less time on these tyres because they will be diving into the pits soon. Probably around about lap 15-ish. So that's even less time for them to actually take advantage of those tyres.
So safety car will be in this lap. Safety car will be in this lap.
Copy.
Okay. We did save some fuel, about half a kilo. We got the battery fully charged again.
Can use energy.
Let's not go crazy overboard this time.
So there is no
Otherwise, this is going to be a very short Grand Prix.
Yes, copy.
Happy to push.
Yeah, copy.
I think we're just going to have to pick our spots here.
Okay, copy.
I don't think this is one of them. Maybe coming out of the bridge is an opportunity. And then again, maybe not.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
So we just need to push now.
Copy.
No point trying through this section here. Schumacher looking pretty punchy on the back of Bottas there. Bottas definitely being held up by Vettel.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
This is a really good chance for us to overtake coming out of this corner here. Bottas just giving a nice little toe to Schumacher there. He's going to squeeze us. We've got a chance to dive up the inside here. And that's gone. This is the downside to them all being on soft, as it makes it very difficult for us to actually get a move done while they're on fresh tyres. DRS is going to kick in at the end of this lap as well.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled. Use energy if you need to.
Right, Bottas is definitely hustling the back of Verstappen, sorry, Vettel. So I can see him getting passed on this lap. There goes Bottas. Now, if we're lucky, we can use Vettel to try and block Schumacher and box him in a bit, but I think it's not likely to happen. See how we do coming out of this corner here. Need a good launch.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, we just don't have enough pace on these mediums right now.
Lift and coast will help.
So what might be better is just to stay tucked up for another couple of laps. Let our battery recharge. Schumacher should get past Vettel here. As long as we can get past Vettel quickly, that's the important thing. We, maybe take the opportunity to save a bit more fuel. There goes Schumacher. Got to be wary of Magnussen. Magnussen's also running a new engine.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Okay, copy.
Got to make sure we don't give him a sniff. See, we're 11.5 seconds off to the front. It's not insurmountable at this stage. It's not ideal though. We're going defensive. And now we're at risk of getting dropped. Oh, don't let him inside. Come on, close him off. There we go. So, Schumacher 3 seconds off the back of Bottas right now, who's tucked up behind Stroll. Stroll has lost the DRS to Albon, so Stroll will be dropping back. We're getting held up here. Schumacher needs to... Schumacher's been passed. Yeah, this has not been a good start to the Grand Prix for us here. We are losing time. We're so much quicker than we could be. Well, we could be so much quicker than we are right now. Right, we're trying to take the pain of the medium tyres now. We'll get off them soon enough. And once we get soft tyres on, we should be a lot better off. I did consider switching to the one stop. Well, I say switching to the one stop. Switching to a set of softs straight away and going just soft at the end. But we would have had to pace ourselves on those softs. We would have ended up getting stuck behind these cars anyway because we'd still been at the back of the grid. And yeah, we'd have just wasted the freshness of those softs. Plus, effectively wasted the mediums because we wouldn't have made any real progress without, with the change in strategy. Here's a chance. Alright, there we go. We're alongside. And we get past Vettel. Excellent stuff. So, now if we can make a move on Schumacher, we can try and start closing the gap down a bit.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Perfect.
Right, should have the run. Side by side, ahead before the braking zone. And we're through. Let's push. 4.5 seconds off the back of Stroll. Bit of work to do.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So we're happy to push the tyres hard now. Push the tyres.
Perfect.
Got a break away from Schumacher before the first main DRS straight coming up. So we need a really quick launch out of this corner here. And that's it. That should be enough.
Drop back a bit.
Yeah,
There we go.
perfect.
We've broken away from Schumacher. And we should have more than enough natural pace in the car to just run like this for a bit and still pull away. Let's take a look at tyres. Yeah, the AI is going to box very early. Given that we had a couple of laps into the safety car, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some that might have gone on to the hards switching to go onto the mediums instead. That will make things a little tricky for us if they do that. And we shall see. Russell and Hamilton having a good old ding-dong battle at the front. Fighting over second place right now, side by side, with Ocon right behind them. This little group of three just over a second behind Verstappen. Leclerc's doing well, he's up in 5th. Although he is under pressure from Ricciardo. The Alpine has been really strong in these last couple of races. Perez currently out of the points right now. Sainz and Norris have improved as well from where they qualified, but of course there were some penalties around them, so that's probably part of the reason why they've moved up into the top 10. Hamilton gets through. If these guys don't fight each other too much and keep leapfrogging each other on the DRS rate, they will stay within a second of Verstappen and get back into DRS. We are 4.5 seconds off the back of Stroll still. He's slipstreaming off the back of Bottas, who's in a queue that goes all the way up to Leclerc in 5th. But we have pulled out another 0.3 of a second over Schumacher. 0.4. Do with a touch more battery in the car. We're pretty much empty. Let's see lap times. We're doing a 1:43.0, so we are off the pace a little bit. 43.2 for Leclerc, who is battling with Ricciardo. So we're lapping around about the same pace as 5th place right now, but it obviously means we're not closing. We're just holding status quo. Let's stick with this little battle at the front, because we're kind of in no man's land at the moment. Again, eking out that gap over Schumacher. How long till we make our pit stop? Let's have a look. We're stopping lap 21. Let's turn the tyres up.
Happy to push.
Yeah,
Let's start trying to close up with, pure tyre performance. Hamilton going very defensive very early on there. And again, Russell could jump him here on this straight. Hamilton covering off the inside. He will hold position. Let's see, Ricciardo did a 1:42.8. We did a 1:42.7 now that we've turned the tyres up. And we did that part way through a lap. So let's see what we do at the end of this lap. In theory, we should start closing the gap now. 4.7, 4.8 seconds is the gap. Let's see how much that comes down, if at all. It's come down by half a second already. And there we go, Bottas is the first of the soft tyre runners to box, so he's probably going hard tyres if he's boxing on lap 30, at the end of lap 13. Now he is going mediums, and so is everybody else out for pits as well. So we're going to see a flurry of activity. That's Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpine also in the pit lane, as are Haas and Alfa Romeo as well. So we can expect to see Gasly in, and I would imagine probably Albon as well. We did a 1:42.3 and set a fastest lap on that last lap. We're actually lapping faster than Verstappen right now. "13 seconds off the front." We did lose quite a bit of time earlier. We're starting to claw that back now, slowly but surely. And we're getting to the period where I really need some extra battery because I want to be able to sprint around the time that they're boxing. Ocon dives in, as does Leclerc and Perez. And Gasly, as expected. And Schumacher's in as well. So, hard tyres for Perez, and for Leclerc, and for Ocon. And for Gasly. Schumacher going hard as well. So Bottas has gone very early for a set of mediums. Yeah, hard tyres for Schumacher as well. We're now 5 seconds ahead of Magnussen. Hamilton and Russell's fighting has allowed Verstappen to scamper away a little bit. But they have got some clean air behind them now that Ocon's not there.
We just need to push.
Taking
now.
a risk.
Tyres are happy to push.
Don't really want to push this hard this long. I need to get onto the back of the cars in front as quick as I can so I can try and at least gain some battery back while I'm in the DRS. Who's in the pits this lap? Hamilton and Magnussen are in the pits. Hamilton has gone for hard tyres. Yes, hard tyres for Hamilton. And Magnussen is also going hard. It looks like whoever else is coming in this lap is going on to mediums. Oh, it's me. Wait, no. What? I haven't boxed yet. They look like Williams mechanics. Oh no, I'm not Williams, am I? Yeah. So that's going to be Stroll then. Stroll's coming in for mediums. All right, take another second out of Stroll and Albon here. At least one of them's boxing this lap, if not both of them. I want Albon to stay out another lap. But Stroll's definitely boxing. Verstappen's in the box. Is Russell coming in as well? No, Russell stays out. Ricciardo and Sainz are in. Albon and Stroll are both in. So, once again, we've missed our opportunity to try and charge our battery up. Medium tyres for Verstappen. Medium tyres for Sainz. And for Ricciardo. And Albon. And we know Stroll's going on to mediums. We're getting close to our pit window. I'm still pushing these tyres harder than I'd like, but I need to at this stage to wring the last bits of performance out of them before they start falling away and before we pit, to try and see if we can jump a couple of cars. It just means we've got less overtaking to do on this first set of softs we're going on to. Alright, Russell finally boxes. This has got to be for mediums. And I'd imagine Norris will follow him in. No, Norris stays out. Medium tyres. Here we go. We are 2.5 seconds off. We're doing 141.9s right now. I'm looking to see what kind of pace cars that have already stopped are doing. Gasly did a 143.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
We're really pushing hard on these tyres, so we could well jump a couple of people here. Just got to really hope that as the grip continues to fall away, we don't push it too hard and end up in the wall. That's my big worry right now. It's 2 seconds to Norris. Is Norris on mediums? He is. Norris is also on mediums. Okay, so Norris is going to be running very long. If we can get on the back of Norris very quickly, we might have a couple of laps to at least try and get some battery back in the car before we stop. That would be ideal for us. Again, I'm looking down the field and I'm not seeing stellar lap times from anyone who's boxed. They're lapping about 2 seconds. Bottas in particular, 2 seconds slower than us at the moment. Perez, Tsunoda, 2 seconds slower. Let's see what Max does across the line. 142.1, that's a bit more scary. Max is on mediums though. And most of the other cars are on hards. So it looks like we're fighting Verstappen and Russell in this race. .3, we're so close. If Max put it in the wall right now, that would be perfect, because we could just save some fuel, recharge the battery, dive in, get a set of softs on and get out ahead of Vettel. And it would take Max out of the championship picture, you know, as far as Vesti goes. And Red Bull in the constructors for that matter, given where Perez currently sits. Oh, did we get the DRS? I don't know if we did. We did. Oh, we just got it.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, so we've got 2 laps. Try and charge up the car a little bit before we box. like sort of 143.1. Maybe he had a DRS boost on his 142.1 coming out the pits. If he's doing 143s, we're in good shape. We've opened up a nice little bit of a bit of a gap. So right now we're looking at coming out probably behind Russell in terms of track position, or in and around Ocon and Hamilton. I think we should come out just ahead of them, but we may possibly come out just behind them. We'll see.
Box.
Copy, box.
Okay, suggest lift and coast.
Copy.
We are losing some time to Max again now. He did a 142.1 last lap, so maybe just had a difficult lap with Vettel. And that slowed him down for that one lap that we were looking at his time.
You can stop lift and coast.
Copy.
Alright, so we've got battery that's just under 2/3, that's not too bad. And we have to be just over half by the time we get to the pit lane, I think. There we go. Right, so can we get out ahead of Hamilton?
Copy that.
We kind of need to, really. We really want to salvage a chance of a win. It is a slow pit lane here. Here comes Hamilton and Bottas. Sorry, Hamilton and Ocon. Okay, so we're going to come out further behind than I thought. We did get out ahead of Ricciardo though, so that's not too bad, but we're further behind than I was expecting us to be. We are on brand new softs now though, so we should close down Sainz pretty quickly. Sainz is on mediums. He's going to be closing down on Hamilton and Ocon at this stage of the Grand Prix. That's not ideal, because it means we're going to have a 3-car train to fight through rather than just 2.
Got loads of energy.
Copy.
Just want to make sure that I do not give Ricciardo and Perez a chance to get onto the back of me. Do not want to drag them along into that fight as well. Let them scrap amongst themselves. None of us are in the points right now. Ocon has been caught by Sainz. So Sainz on the cusp of points now. So given the current performance difference in the tyres, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Sainz get past both Hamilton and Ocon. If he's going to do it though, I kind of like him to do it quickly. I don't want to get held up here. And it'll be easier for us to overtake a car on hards that's using the DRS than a car on mediums using the DRS. So Ocon is past Hamilton. Let's see if we can pick one of the cars off on this straight here, if we're lucky.
So use energy if you need it.
Yeah, copy.
Excellent launch. Slipstream. Hamilton squeezes back through. Can we dive up the inside of Sainz? No, we can't. And there you see, even though we're using battery there, the slipstream is so powerful that Sainz actually accelerated faster than we did. So here's another opportunity. Alright, we've got a slipstream on Ocon here. We should get Sainz quite comfortably. And we do. There we go. Beautiful stuff.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Alright, so Ocon's going to get back in front of Hamilton here. We're going to stay tucked up behind them by the look of it. But we'll have another crack with battery deployment coming over the bridge.
You can use energy.
Copy.
Gonna keep the pressure on, see if we can jump Hamilton on them start finish straight. Or at least follow Hamilton through if he had to crack at Ocon. Which he doesn't. Okay, can we get him here? Coming out of turn 3. I thought we were going to go around the outside for a second then. Alright, here we go. Hamilton's going to get past Ocon. Maybe. Oh, he dived back in. Took the back in behind him. Yeah, we're not getting through. Okay, let's again save the tyres. Charge the battery. And let's go super save.
Drop back a bit.
Just got to wait for an opportunity and then just really push, I think. Go full on attack. Ricardo and Perez have caught up. Not surprising. Hamilton and Ocon are losing quite a bit of time at the moment, scrapping with each other.
So we just need to push now.
Sorry.
Alright, we are closing in on Vettel. That's going to further complicate things. Every time I go through that corner, I still can't help but remember the early days of this circuit when it was the Singapore Sling chicane, which was just the worst corner ever devised on an F1 track. Awful, awful corner.
Happy to push.
You want some tyre checks? There we go. We are just out of DRS range at the moment. Any more pit stops? Not for the AI, unless they make a mistake, apart from drivers like Norris and Vettel. They are yet to stop. Everyone else has already made one stop, and is probably going to the end. We're still going to make another stop. Yellow flag. Someone's had a whoopsie. That's a spin.
Like a spin.
Yeah,
Let's take
Tsunoda.
a look at the replay. Now let's look at this. The focus on Tsunoda. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone.
Single yellow.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is where the Singapore Sling used to be, just there, until they smoothed it out into just a single corner. Don't know what the hell they were thinking. Okay, so Hamilton's already got clear of Vettel, and he's going to try and sprint away. This might actually be beneficial to us. If it breaks up Hamilton and Ocon, it makes them easier for us to pick off. Assuming that Hamilton can break Vettel's DRS here. He's about to, yeah, he's just about done it. So that means Ocon should get Vettel here on the start-finish straight, or if not, on the next DRS straight. We'll be positioned to try and follow through. He's not getting through here. This is allowing Hamilton to break away a little bit more, which again is kind of good, because it means that there's a chance that Ocon will not have the DRS when he does get through past Vettel here.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Copy.
Now we're getting held up. Go on, have a dive. And again, you see we're being out-dragged by the Alfa Romeo, and that's not a performance thing, that's a slipstream thing. But we have got him. That's what we needed to do.
That's it.
And now we're in a position to get
So back off.
past Ocon here.
Yeah, copy.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
So use energy.
Copy.
There we go, we've got ourselves into a side-by-side situation. Ease off the battery deployment. No, we've given away the DRS. Never mind.
We're not okay on fuel.
That means we will get it on the next straight. So I'm okay with that. Ocon is still outside of DRS of Hamilton. We're still side by side, so we'll get a clean deployment coming out of this corner here. There we go. We're through past Ocon. So now we get a clean run at the back of Hamilton. And we should be able to get past him pretty quickly. And then we can start hunting down Russell and then Verstappen. We do have plenty of life left in these tyres. I mean, we're due to stop on lap 41, so we're only going another 12 laps, including this one, before we stop again. So we're really going to push those tyres, push them hard. We've already got the gap down to just half a second, even while we're charging.
Loads of energy.
Yeah, copy.
I think Ocon missed out on the DRS as well. Now we're through. Excellent. So let's push. Break away from Hamilton nice and quickly here. Use the next 11 laps to really sprint.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Yeah, copy.
So this should comfortably be a new fastest lap, I think. We've already broken away from Hamilton. What do we do across the line? A 1:39.6. There we go. There's the pace that we need. This lap will be even quicker. Potentially. We won't have the DRS, but we will have deployment on the whole lap. And then I'll be turning the battery back off again after this lap. So purple in the first sector. Purple in the middle sector. Might run that battery before we cross the line actually here. If not, it's going to be very close. A 1:39.2, even faster. And we are under 6 seconds to Russell now. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly you can pull a gap when you're using battery, pushing your soft tyres, and the cars behind you are not using battery and they're on hards. Plus, we kind of brought Hamilton and Ocon back together again, so those two are just going to keep scrapping now, which should slow them down a bit. Which again is important because not only do we need to close the gap to the cars in front, but we need to try and build as big a gap as we can to the cars behind us, so that when we do make our extra stop that they're not making, we can try and minimise the amount of positions we're going to have to reclaim again. We do still have 2 remaining brand new sets of softs, so we are covered if there is a late safety car or a red flag towards the end, where we can throw on another set of brand new softs if we need to. Alright, so what did we do on that lap? A 40.4, so that's more normal pace without the battery deployment. Still a second faster than Russell, only half a second faster than Verstappen though. Comfortably closing in on Norris, whose tyres are starting to struggle. He's still going to be going a while yet before he boxes. He's probably going to be boxing after we do. Probably be boxing somewhere around about lap 45. So again, we'll be able to undercut Norris quite significantly, hopefully. We're 10.5 seconds off him right now, but we're closing ridiculously quickly on him. And with brand new softs before he even gets into the pits himself, we should take big chunks of time out of him before he stops. Might even get past him. You were feeling quite pessimistic a number of laps ago. Now you think it'll be very interesting. This is what I was expecting us to be able to do. It's just we would be doing this with 2 cars rather than 1. So we have limited our chances of getting the win because we've got 1 less car in the fight. And we don't have the ability to get our teammates to cooperate on track either. But this kind of pace is what I was expecting us to be able to churn out when I went for this strategy. You know, to have that significant pace advantage. Yes, we're going to have to overcome a long pit stop and make up time again, but we'll be on brand new softs again, and the tyres that will be on the cars we're chasing will have done a significant number of laps already, so they'll be even slower than they were last time around when we made our first stop. I need Norris and Verstappen to slow each other down now. So we're going to keep an eye on Norris. See if he can harry and hassle Verstappen into either a mistake or just get in front of him and then hold him up in the slower stuff. Somehow, though, I don't think that's going to happen. The gap in tyre wear is just too big, I think. I think it's going to be all Norris can do just to hang on this lap and stay within DRS. He's going to get it here, but I don't think he's going to get it by the end of the next DRS straight. And we're less than 3 seconds behind Russell now. 10 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Oh, it's just about hanging on to DRS. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. I think he just got it. Yes, he did, just. But only just. So, yeah, he's probably only got 1 more lap before he gets dropped. In fact, it might even happen here through this closing section of the lap. And there we go. That is the DRS broken. There's a detection point. There's the deployment point. No rear wing opening. So Norris has now been dropped. And there we are. Not that far behind. And we are closing on Russell. Hamilton and Ocon still fighting with each other, swapping places. They're now over 11.5 seconds behind us. We're lapping 1.5 seconds a lap faster than them right now. And about 0.8 of a second faster than Verstappen. That's good. Can we pass Russell before we get to Norris? It might be better for us to just stay tucked up behind Russell than and charge up.
We're not okay on fuel.
We've still got a little bit of fuel that we need to save. I think the smarter play is going to be just to stay behind Russell. He's quicker than Norris. And so we can charge up and move at a faster pace in his wake than we would in Norris's wake. He is lapping about 0.8 of a second faster than Norris. And we've got comfortably enough pace to stay with him. So that'll give us 3 laps of getting our battery charged and potentially even saving a little bit of fuel in the process as well. Battery's more important right now. Evening, Anthony.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
Copy.
What happened to Felipe? He crashed on the very first lap. Locked up, went flying into Joe, wiped his car out. It's been a rough weekend. Both our cars got significant damage in practice, and then Drugovich totaled his car in at the start of this race. And I have no idea how bad the engine damage is. I don't think it's significant. So, as things currently stand, we're going to be getting out ahead of Leclerc. So we're going to be coming out in 11th place. As I say, we should be able to undercut Norris, seeing as we're right on him now. It is a lot of time to make up to Max once we've made the stop. We'll have pace, but you know, it's Max.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Okay, copy.
Alright, I might box early, I might box at the end of this lap. Yeah, I'm going to box at the end of this lap. I'm going to box a lap earlier than planned. Again, just to secure that undercut.
Okay, box, 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 box.
Because Norris is going to be stopping soon. Another 3 or 4 laps, maybe. We're not going to have as much battery as I was hoping we would, but we'll have enough to sprint on our out lap. And we are taking care of our fuel situation as well.
drop back a bit.
Yeah, copy. Relay.
Yeah, copy. Just pit limiter, just a reminder on pit limiter.
Alright, so, yeah, we should come out behind Perez ahead of Leclerc. Another race where Perez is not doing well. He's been really off his game this season. There we go, brand new softs going on. Here comes Leclerc. Oh, we come out right behind him. That actually works quite well for us because it does mean that we get the DRS. So I'm fine with that, actually. That's worked out quite nicely for us. He's going to squeeze us. We'll get him under braking. Something's going on with the moderation on my channel because it's just automatically blocking, you know, a lot of comments and not even giving me the opportunity to try and show them. Unless it's a bug on the app. It just keeps saying another moderator's just handled this.
Use energy if you need.
Copy.
Alright, so we should break Leclerc here before the end of the lap. There we go. So, we have 20 laps to go, including this one. And we are going to be rapid. Norris is still hanging on to the back of Russell. So that's working out quite nice for Norris. His tyres are going to be really bad though, so he's not going to be able to hang with Russell for long. And he is going to be boxing in the next few laps. Bottas might have to box again. He did stop very early, don't forget. And you can see how the one stop for Vettel hasn't really worked. He's down in 15th place now. He was running second at one point. But he's scrapping with Stroll right now. And is 45 seconds off the lead. And there we go. Norris has been dropped. We're already 3 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Just 4 seconds off the back of Perez now. This is going to be another rapid lap. 1:39.2 is our personal best so far. It's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Let's see what we do on this lap with fresh tyres. We're not pushing them, but we'll see what we can do. 1:41.7. We did a 1:38.6. Yeah. Comfortably the new fastest lap of the race. And significantly faster than everyone in front of us. Yes, it was DRS. It was battery boosted all the way through that lap, but even without the battery, we should be doing 1:40s at an absolute minimum. Ideally, 1:39s. We're going to be in that region. High 1:39s, low 1:40s, I think. The only trouble we've got is it's a big queue of traffic behind Ocon. We've got Ocon, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Sainz and Bottas all in a queue. It's going to be hard to pick them off. That's why I've not been pushing the tyres yet, because I know I'm going to have to push them to get past them. We are going to have to recharge the battery as well. And there goes Norris into the box. So I said he was going to box around lap 44, 45, and he's boxed at the end of lap 43, so it wasn't too far off. He will be going on softs. Now, can we undercut him? Have we done enough? I think we have. Yes, we have. Comfortably done enough. He's going to be vulnerable to Leclerc. Leclerc's got him, and he's not going to be right on his gearbox like we were. He's not going to get the DRS this lap. He will get it later in the lap. Oh, he might just have snuck it. No, he didn't. We've already passed Perez. I completely missed it, but we gained Perez. Beautiful. Wasn't even trying. Just raw pace.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place. We can take a look now. So this was the Aston Martin.
Excellent stuff. Had the move done before the braking zone. So now we've got, a big chunk of traffic to get through. Bottas is going to be the easiest of these to get through because his tyres are in the worst shape. That is the tyre situation there, before you ask Farah. Right, we're in the DRS range, so let's go into charge mode. Let's also save the tyres a little bit while we're charging up. No point burning, the rubber unnecessarily. We don't have an easy pass opportunity here because of the slipstream. Vettel boxes on lap 45. That's what I was expecting for Norris. Got a little bit of battery. Let's see if we can use it here.
Happy to push.
Yeah, copy.
A little bit too far off. Maybe we can catch him coming out of here.
You can use energy.
Yeah, copy.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, and Sainz is out. So we have to give the position back to Bottas. But Sainz is out the way.
Car in the wall.
Copy.
Let's see what happened there. Okay, here's the Ferrari.
Oh, and
That
he
crash
smashed
is
his rear wing to
terrible
bits.
news for the
So,
team.
yeah, Sainz is out of the points. He's effectively out of contention for anything in this race. There is the yellow flag cleared. We've got a chance to jump Bottas here. And we got him. Beautiful. We've killed our battery to do it, but we've got him.
Yeah, copy.
So we're up to 6. We're back in the points.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And Norris is a long way off. Look how far behind us he is. He's nearly 14 seconds behind us.
So we just need to push now.
Copy.
And that's us alongside Hamilton. We've got a slipstream from the Alpines in front, so we'll complete that move. There we go.
P5 at the moment.
Can we even get one of the Alpines before the next DRS zone? That would be awesome if we can.
Aston Martin
Got a
with
long
great
way
lead
to
there.
go though to
They've
catch
moved
up
a point.
with Russell and Verstappen. Sainz in the pits.
You can use energy. Use energy. You can use energy.
Copy.
Right, now we're just going to push our tyres for the rest of the race. Going to need to. A, to get the moves done, and B, we've got, like I say, a big gap to close down. 18 seconds to Russell. 26 and a half, 27 seconds to Verstappen. That's going to be a tall order. Russell we should be able to do. Verstappen I'm not so sure. I was really hoping that Alpine was going to cut in front of his teammate there. He didn't. He stayed where he was and we got boxed in. Again,
So use
you
energy if you
see
need
just
it.
how powerful the slipstream is that
Yeah,
we're
copy.
not able to even close up.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
We need to charge it.
Copy.
Got no battery, but the more laps we spend stuck behind these two Alpines, the less chance we have of closing the gap to the cars in front. We're still going to get on the podium, but second step is getting a little bit further and further away from us, and the top step is almost gone. It's not entirely impossible yet, but it's not looking good. Need to find a way through.
So use energy.
Okay, copy.
Alright, have we got a chance here? Nope. Here, maybe? Again, look at the difference in acceleration. Even though we've got better tyres and we're using battery, the slipstream is just so powerful that we haven't got that opportunity. Got to get one of them here.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Copy.
Come on, up the inside, up the inside. Ah! Can we follow through? No, we can't. Oh, it's so frustrating when you're in situations like this. Got to try a dive bomb and hope. And now I'm out of battery again. Yeah, I think we've lost any chance we had of winning this Grand Prix now. And it's looking harder and harder for us to
All
actually
okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
catch up to Russell.
Copy.
I need a safety car now if I'm going to have any chance of winning this Grand Prix. These Alpines are just killing me. And the longer this continues, the less likely it's going to be I'm even going to get past both of them. If I can get past one, I can get past the other. I've just got to get past one of them.
Use energy if you need.
Copy.
Come on, up the inside, up the inside. Ah, come on. There we go. Finally. We can get them both here. I'll settle for one.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Because now it'll be much easier for us to get past the other one. Oh, there's a safety car. Oh, that's awesome. That has just saved our race. I don't want a box. I don't want to throw away track position. Oh, maybe... I don't know. Do I... How many places... Oh, Verstappen's boxing. I've got to.
Here's the replay. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved.
Oh, that's a big hit.
They won't have been
Verstappen's boxing, I think I'm going to have to... I'll wait and see. Is anyone else boxing? Russell's boxing as well. They're going to come out in front of us with fresher tyres. I've kind of got to. But we do have brand new softs. Going to have a lot of cars to fight our way past again, but we'll have tyres that are much, much better. And we might not be the only ones in this train that's going to box. Yeah. Ricardo's boxing.
So use pit limiter.
My only worry now is that we're going to get held in the pit lane. We're going to be back behind Leclerc again. Go, 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 go. Oh, getting held by both. Oh. That's really bad. Still, we'll have fuel and tyres and battery to play with. We need a blisteringly quick start. Ocon, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc should all be easy enough to get past. Norris will be a bit of a struggle. Bottas and Ricciardo are definitely going to be a struggle. Should I have stayed out? Maybe. I mean, we would still have been behind Verstappen and Russell with them on much better tyres than us. And yeah, maybe. I want the win. I want to try and challenge for the win, and we wouldn't have been able to do that with without boxing for fresh. If we can at least... I could have hung on to them, yeah, maybe, but I wouldn't have been able to pass them. And that would have been more frustrating for me, I think. I probably have made the wrong decision here, but... fuck it. It's done. There's nothing else I can do about it now. We're in the train. If we only had a couple of laps to go, I would have stayed out. But given that we have 9 more laps to go, about 8 crossing the line. That's assuming that the safety car comes in this lap. We'll have 8 laps of racing. It's not going to rain. I'm not crying, it's just my eyes are raining. Don't. You'll end up, you know, making a misstep and the Vesti will crash. Right, nobody's lapped, so theoretically the safety car could come in this lap. I mean, Sainz is still a long way off, as is Tsunoda. But the safety car might come in at the end of this lap. It won't help me, but it's been extremely entertaining. Yeah, well, yes. That was another part of the reason why I decided to box as well for the dramatic finish. I probably have thrown away a podium, but we'll have a hell of a crack at it. And like I said, there's a few cars in front that we should be able to get past quite quickly, so we should at least finish in the points. And you never know, Max might bin it on the restart. Safety car is coming in, so we're not going to have a full battery, but we have got very, very fresh tyres, and we've got bonus fuel to play about with now. In the words of Mr. Arnold, hold on to your butts.
So there is no overtaking until the control line, and there'll be 2 laps with no DRS.
Perfect.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Yeah, copy.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, copy.
You can use energy. Use energy, you can use energy.
Copy.
Come on, don't back out. The move on boss. No, he backed out.
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
Go on, complete the move. Complete the move. No, he backed out again.
Okay, copy.
So use energy if you need it.
Yeah, copy.
Come on. Yellow flag in sector 3. Is that someone out?
Yellow flag 15. Yellow.
That's a spin for Vettel. That does not help me. Vettel's behind me.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
There we go, around the outside of Leclerc. Slipstream on Norris. Perez has somehow found his way into the points.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
He's under pressure from Ricciardo, who is on fresh tyres. Perez has already been dropped by Hamilton, so he's going to be easy pickings for Ricciardo here. Theoretically. I need Russell to get ahead of Verstappen. Okay, Ricciardo's through.
So DRS is enabled now.
Good, 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 good. Get Perez under braking.
That's it.
Good, good, good. It's not over yet.
Lift and coast will help.
Yeah, copy.
Now we have to be careful and pick and choose our opportunities. Russell is ahead of Verstappen. Need those two to slow each other down with their battling. Ocon is trying to get past Hamilton. This sets us up for a possible.
Five more laps. 5 more laps. So use energy.
Okay, copy.
Come on, get him, get him, get him. Ah, so close. Yellow flag behind us. It's a virtual.
Okay, copy.
Albon's crashed.
We've just had a crash on the track. Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the Haas.
That's Magnussen.
Clearly,
That's a
something
puncture.
went very, very wrong there.
So when did Albon go out then? Unless Albon was the one that caused the last safety car. Yeah, he probably was, thinking about it. Well, this is giving me a chance to get a little bit more bonus fuel. Recharge the battery, but Hamilton is now 9 seconds. Those front two are gone. But we're still in the chance of getting back into third. We just happen to do it the hard way. And with only, what, 4 laps to go at the end of this lap. At least we've knocked Perez out of the points.
4 more laps.
There's one less Red Bull to take points out of our lead in the constructors. But Max is going to take the lead in the drivers. Unless Verstappen gets in front of him. Unless Russell gets back in front of him. I need that safety car to come in, or the VSC to end. We have opportunities to get past these Alpines again. These goddamn Alpines. If we hadn't been stuck behind them for so long, we would have been in a much better shape. I wouldn't have had to burn my tyres quite so hard, and I probably would have stayed out. Come on with the VSC. Magnussen's made it back to the pits. End it. End it now. Please. About time. Did only one Alpine pit? Yeah, Ricardo in front of us.
VSC ending. DRS will be active. 3 more
The
laps,
2 cars
3
in
more
front
laps.
of us and Ricardo are both on used hard tyres.
Use energy if you need.
Yeah, copy.
That's not going to get it done. Come on, be brave, be brave, be brave. Good lad. Go on, be brave again. Nah, not quite.
Aston started with a
goddamn
great
slipstream
play
effect.
there. They've moved up a place.
All right, we got him. So we'll get Hamilton on the main straight here. And then we're just going to sprint like crazy and see if we can close the gap up at all. We are through.
Looks like Aston
9
Martin
seconds to
have
close.
just gained a race
It's not going to
position.
happen, but let's see how close we can get. If we had another lap, maybe we could do this.
Two more laps.
Sorry.
I think 138.5 is our new fastest lap. Yeah, 138.5, new fastest lap. They're on new softs. They boxed at the same time as we did under the safety car, but they were like 20 seconds ahead, so they maintained position. I think Ocon was briefly between Max and Russell, but they very quickly got away from him. No chance of catching them unless one of them makes a mistake. Even a lockup or running wide will drop one of them into our clutches. So that's why I'm still pushing, just on the off chance that one of them does make a mistake. I mean, they're battling side by side, so there's every chance that something will happen. We want Russell to finish ahead. It's the last lap. We want him to take points off Verstappen.
Last lap.
Because we're fighting Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship, but Max is going to get the DRS on this back straight here. We've taken 2.5 seconds out of the gap, nearly 3 seconds out of the gap in just a lap and a bit. But we just don't have enough laps left. Russell holding him back. We did a 1:37.6 last lap. That's quick. It's 1.2 seconds faster, but it's not fast enough. Yeah, a couple more laps and we would have been able to catch them. You might even see us in the background in a moment if we're lucky.
Yeah, copy.
Russell is going to take points off Verstappen though. That's excellent. That means we're actually going to stay ahead of Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship now that we're in third. Verstappen will get 6 points. Vesti will get 4. He's currently 4 points ahead of Max in the Drivers' Championship, so that will keep him 2 points clear. Thank you, Russell, for saving my bacon a little bit there. Russell wins the Singapore Grand Prix. There's us. We were less than 5 seconds behind in the end. We closed them down so quickly, but we just didn't have enough laps left. Maybe we should have stayed out. If we'd stayed out, we probably could have won. But you know, we've had a very eventful weekend. We had 2 cars pretty much totaled in practice, one for each of our drivers. Then Drugovich crashed and totaled his car again on the first lap of this Grand Prix. Vesti and Drugovich already starting from the back of the grid, given that they were having 20 place penalties. Drugovich is going to have a 13 place penalty in the next race because he's now going to need a replacement gearbox, and he's going to take a 3 place penalty for hitting and taking out Zhou. So it's going to be another rough race for Drugovich. I think his championship aspirations are over. But Vestes are still alive with 5 more races to go. We go to Suzuka next, then Kota, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi.
What an incredible outcome for Aston Martin's driver. Today, Aston Martin demonstrated that they can go very far indeed.
I couldn't agree more. It just shows what this team can do when all the pistons are firing.
Without the VSC, it would have been close. Well, it would have been closer, but I don't think we would have had enough. I mean, the VSC allowed us to save a little bit of extra fuel, keep the tyres cool, and get some more battery back in the car. But yeah, we did have a couple of laps of lost overtaking opportunities. Maybe we could have closed the gap by an extra couple of seconds, but I still don't think we would have caught them. We would have been a lot closer though. Right, confirmation of the results. We've got the fastest lap. Again, it's just bragging rights. No point awarded for the fastest lap. George Russell takes the win, starting from second, finishing first. Verstappen finishing second, having started first. We climbed 16 places from 19th all the way up to third. We could potentially have had the win if we'd stayed out, but there's more fun making the attack. Good race for the Alpines. Ocon starting and finishing in fifth, but Ricciardo gaining 3 spots. He had a very good race. Hamilton sneaks the last point. Norris close to the points as well. Perez in the end drops down to 8th. Another race for Perez without points. What is going on with Sergio Perez this season? Good recovery drive from Bottas, considering he started down the order in 17th with his penalties. Gasly, disappointing race for him. He only made up 1 place. He had the potential to do more. Another disappointing race for the Ferraris. Leclerc down in 11th place. Sainz with his crash all the way down in 16th. And, well, yeah, the less said about Felipe's crash, the better. In the Drivers' Championship, Freddie does lead Max by just 2 points. They are now pulling away from Felipe, who failed to score anything because of his first lap crash. So it's 6 points between our 2 teammates, 4 points further back than Max. He's not out the picture entirely. There's still 5 races to go, but, you know, it's not an ideal situation for him. There you can see Sergio Perez just kind of nowhere. 43 points. He's been so inconsistent. He was so strong at the start of the season. 5 podiums and a win, but he's been nowhere for most of this season now. Lewis, McLaren, having really promising pace at the start of the season, hasn't quite been able to live up to that potential, especially as we've come through a bit more powerfully in the season as well. Good race for Russell. Huge points for him. 10 points jumps him all the way up to 6th place and within 3 points of his former teammate. Norris dropping a place, as does Bottas and Leclerc. Again, the Ferraris they've been nowhere this season. And more points for Alpine. That will put them ahead of Ferrari in the constructors now, I think. And yeah, there we go. You see, Ferrari now dropping to 6th. Alpine go 2 points clear of them. Big points for Mercedes means that they really closed the gap up between McLaren. And whereas I thought that battle was over, it's now back on again. It's now a 2-way fight for 3rd place in the constructors. We do lose a couple of points to Red Bull, but we're still 35 points clear, as I say, with 5 races to go. So, maximum of... trying to do some quick maths here. 16, 32, 48, 64. 80 points available for 1-2 finishes in the Constructors' Championship. We are 35 points clear. It's not mathematically safe by a long shot, but statistically, it's looking pretty good for us. So, after the trials and tribulations of a very, very broken practice for both our drivers, it's a decent recovery for Freddie and an exceptional rating for him. 20 successful overtakes, 15 successful defences, 42 failed overtakes and 2 failed defences. He was all over the place trying to find his way through on some of those drivers there. Very, very disappointing weekend for Felipe. 5 successful overtakes and nothing else. He made up some really good progress in those first few corners. He made up 5 places and then lost all of them. And his car. So hopefully the damage hasn't been too bad. We'll see in a moment. Sponsor wise, we didn't really set any objectives because we knew we were going to be taking penalties. We did get our finish position streak. That was completed. Although our quali streak was broken because penalties. Right, let's see. What was the damage? We've got a couple of weeks. Oh no, we've only got 4 days until Suzuka. Okay, that's not good. What do we need now in terms of spare parts? We need another chassis. We need another suspension. We need another rear wing. Yeah, let's go ahead and have a look. How long until we get our new chassis? Just out of interest. 10 days. 25 days to the front wing. 13 days to the suspension. To the side pods. Yeah, the only 2 parts I've got left that I can actually make for the car, based on our allocation, is another side pod, a major side pod, and a minor front wing. So even if I were to take engineers off now that we have that 4th slot available, I still couldn't actually go ahead and make a part because we're already making a part. Not ideal. Let's go ahead and make those new parts that we need. So we need a new spare chassis. Let's go ahead and make one of those. Rushing it will take too long, so we'll have to emergency it. There we go. We've got the money. We've got 51 million in the bank. Front wings were okay on front wings. We've got 2 spares. Rear wings, let's make 1 spare rear wing. That'll get through in time, so we can just normal manufacture that. What was the other one? Suspension. We need new spare suspension as well. And rushing that, we'll get that in time for the Grand Prix. There we go. Right. Let's take a look at our drivers. No point for Freddie. No point for Felipe. No point for Matt Harmon. Alessandro does get a point. Blah, 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 blah. Let's throw that onto low speed downforce. That's the weakest part of our car. So if we do get the chance to throw on a new part before the very end of the season, then that will be where we get a slightly better benefit. Let's have a look at the emails. Oh, that's the point. I forgot to check the powertrain situation, didn't I? Board are very happy. I'm not, but that's the difference between the board and me. Gearbox is in poor condition. Let's have a look at his powertrain. So, yeah. Luckily, he didn't do much damage to the engine or much damage to the ERS module, but he did wipe a fair bit of damage to that gearbox. So he is going to probably need a new gearbox. We will try and manage it as best we can. That's going to become our practice gearbox now. We do still have one brand new factory fresh gearbox available. So hopefully we don't have another big crash. We can use this one in the remaining practice sessions. We can still do a couple of practice sessions with that gearbox, I think, depending on the sessions, and that one should, if we're careful and we don't have a crash, should last the rest of the season. So hopefully we can get away without having to take another penalty. A couple more emails that I haven't read yet. Hospitality is in poor condition. Let's give it a little spit and polish. Spruce it up a touch. And the team hub is now in poor condition, so we definitely need to refurb that. There we go. Right, let's advance time. Our memorabilia room is all sparkly glowy again. Board confidence. The board has high confidence in our leadership. They were still delighted with Marina Bay. I was not, but as long as the board's happy, I suppose. Financial report. We haven't actually looked at our finances. Let's see how we're doing. How much do we have left on the cost cap? Just out of curiosity, we still got 53.5 million left on our cost cap. And see, the cost cap system really does need an overhaul, and it is getting an overhaul in the next game, but we don't know exactly how much that's going to change. But yeah, it's going to be much more important to keep an eye on your finances in the next game, from what I understand. Let's see, brake cooling needs to be improved compared to the rest of the grid. Yeah, brake cooling isn't great. But, say, new front wing on the way, that will give us a nice little boost to brake cooling. How long do we have to wait for the new front wing? That is the new chassis. That's the new side pods. And the new front wing will come in time for Mexico. So we'll have it for Mexico, and then Brazil, and then Sao Paulo. So we'll have 3 races with that wing. And if we're really lucky, and I do mean really lucky, we might be able to squeeze on another front wing for the very last race, but I don't think we will. We'll see what we can do. With a minor upgrade available, it might not actually give us any benefit at all in terms of performance. It might actually be a detriment to the car, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Notice that Ben's contract is running out. That's fine. Spare rear wing is now made. Spare suspension is now made. And we've already made the spare chassis. So, there we go. We are now ready for Suzuka. And that will be our race next week. We are still in pretty good contention for taking the Constructors' Championship. The Drivers' title is still anyone's guess. You know, it's very tight at the top. Felipe, not out of it, but has certainly hurt himself a little bit. He's now 6 points off the top of the table, and is going to have a penalty of 3 places minimum at the next Grand Prix. I say minimum because there's every chance he might pick up another penalty. In practice again. You never know. These things seem to happen in rapid succession with our drivers. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So tomorrow I am going to restart our Aliens Dark Descent playthrough, and we're going to play on Nightmare difficulty. I've already got the prologue out of the way, so we're going to be starting with the first mission, which will be Dead Hills. But I can tell you from having dabbled on Nightmare that the increase in difficulty is significant. Yeah, that's going to be a very, very difficult playthrough. But it could potentially be a platinum playthrough. So we shall see how we go. Until then, that is it for tonight. I will be streaming from 8 PM tomorrow. And then we'll try and potentially break down the stream into 2 parts. So what I might do is I might do about an hour and a half, and then end the stream and then restart it straight away again, so that we can break up the playlist into more manageable chunks for people to catch up and watch at any one point, rather than like a 3 or 4 hour long stream. So until tomorrow night, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back tomorrow with Aliens Dark Descent Nightmare.